Right now this morning, Election Day is less than 47 days away. We'll have an inside look at battleground state polling, learn how these pivotal voter snapshots are created. The Maple Leaf Run sprinting into town this weekend. Coming up, we lace up with some event planners for an in-studio chat.
Plus, it's a weather alert day today for damaging winds and large hail. When I come back, I'll give you an overview how this all plays out between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Mark Jarrett.
It is Thursday, September 19th. Got some rain to expect today, is that right?
Yeah, we have a couple of rounds of rainfall, with this one coming in the morning, and then next one comes into the late afternoon, into the early evening hours and beyond. We're looking at warm conditions today. That'll last till Saturday. You already know that. Then we get into more showers, not only today, but it also happens for the weekend, possibly late overnight Saturday going into Sunday, and then maybe into Monday with some slight chances coming in for Tuesday now. That's all been changing up a little bit. Let's get into it here as the alert day shows right now. Once again, we're talking at least between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. That's a big threat for weather coming our direction. Damaging winds up to at least 60 miles per hour plus, and of course, large hail for all areas. Let's get a gander at this. It's a slight risk here. You can see in the yellow, that's a 2 out of 5% chance there. This will also has extended now, including all of La Crosse, all the way down to the south as well, getting to Prairie du Chien. Wausau's in the green, and that is a marginal risk, and that extends out to near Madison. Here's the look at the rainfall crossing the Mississippi now, well up to the north, headed for Ladysmith, and then Eau Claire is next. The possibility of that getting to us as we go into, say, the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour, maybe into the 9. Well, that's a 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. chance of that happening. I'll have more of this coming for you in just a bit. Stick around.
Thank you, Art. 25 people, including children, are in the hospital this morning after a wagon overturned at an apple orchard in Lafayette, Wisconsin. 3 people sustained life-threatening injuries, and at least 1 was airlifted via helicopter. According to the sheriff's office, a tractor was towing 2 wagons carrying students and adults when one of the wagons lost control, going downhill, tipping over.
You have an area such as ours, which is fairly rural, and then the closure of the hospitals in the area. Coming together and being a team like we are and we always have been, I think is instrumental.
The sheriff's office did not say which school the children were from. The cause of the incident is under investigation. Kentuckians who live near the site of this month's I-75 shooting might feel a bit safer this morning. The Kentucky State Police Commissioner says the search for the alleged shooter is now over. Officials believe they found the suspect's body near the shooting site. 2 troopers and 2 civilians made the discovery as the investigation continues into the incident that left 5 wounded almost 2 weeks ago. A La Crosse County court ruling 55-year-old John Stumlin is not competent to stand trial. Stumlin, accused of killing and hiding the body of 68-year-old Daniel Riordan, was arrested August 8th. He did not appear in court due to aggression toward jail staff. The court ordered immediate medication and inpatient treatment for Stumlin's mental illness. Immigration was a major focus for former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris yesterday, with both campaigning on the East Coast. It comes as one of the nation's largest unions is declining to endorse a candidate for the first time since 1996. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
Amid heightened security, yesterday, former President Donald Trump rallied on Long Island, a must-win district for House Republicans in a deeply blue state.
We can win New York.
Trump vowed to reverse a cap on the state and local tax deduction known as SALT, a cap he created with his 2017 tax cuts law. The former president also promised to visit 2 cities in Ohio and Colorado, claiming they're under siege by migrants.
They're destroying our country. We're getting them out.
In Washington, Vice President Kamala Harris slammed Trump's immigration proposals at an event for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute.
They have pledged to carry out the largest deportation, a mass deportation in American history. How's that going to happen? Massive raids?
In a possible blow to the Harris campaign, for the first time since 1996, the Teamsters Union declined to endorse the Democratic presidential nominee, choosing instead to endorse neither candidate. Meanwhile, the FBI says Iranian hackers stole information from the Trump campaign and sent it unsolicited to the Biden campaign before the president dropped out. A former Biden campaign official tells CBS News that material was not used.
The Trump campaign has accused Iran of trying to influence the election, though federal officials say there's no evidence the recipients of the stolen material responded. Today, the former president will attend events in D.C. Vice President Harris will appear with Oprah at an event in Michigan. The League of Women Voters of the La Crosse area is celebrating its centennial, the group marking 100 years at the Capella Performing Arts Center, commemorating a century of defending democracy and empowering voters. The LWV helps citizens understand public policy issues and encourages active participation in government.
It's been accepted in the community. It's been looked to as a source of reliable information when it comes to voting on issues and candidates.
If you want to join the League of Women Voters, we'll have a link for you on our website. With new election polls coming out almost every week, we're pulling back the curtain on what goes into presidential polling at CBS News. A lot has changed over the years. People always wonder how they work, how you can talk to some people and understand the nation. Natalie Brand talks to CBS's elections director about how these polls work.
We will start with Anthony Salvanto and the latest CBS News polling.
A snapshot in time, a temperature of the electorate, a tradition dating back decades at CBS News.
We're ultimately trying to give voice to the public.
CBS Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, says a good poll starts with selecting a group of participants that reflects the electorate.
So that you're creating what I often call that microcosm of the state or the country or the likely electorate. It's not the same as people just gathering on a social media feed and weighing in their opinions.
CBS News works with partner YouGov's national and state panels to invite people across ages, gender, race, and education. The total sample sizes typically number into the thousands, but the goal is to have people representing every kind of voter. They answer questions Salvanto himself carefully writes to offer all viewpoints. And in the digital age, pollsters want to meet people where they are.
If they're connected online, they're using smartphones, they're using the internet, of course, then they can take the survey that way. Once invited to take the survey, then they can log on, connect securely, and answer the questions in front of them.
The data is analyzed and CBS calculates who's likely to turn out. But Salvanto reminds people to pay close attention to the margin of error.
We are, after all, talking about people's behavior here, and no one can perfectly predict that, but we do a pretty good job of getting you in a range.
In my own very unscientific poll out on the street, voters shared a range of opinions.
What do you think about this election cycle?
Ooh, the most exciting of my life.
So much divisiveness, just too turbulent.
But they all agreed the poll that matters the most will be the one on Election Day.
Given all the focus on the 7 battleground states, including Wisconsin, that'll decide the election, those are the states to pay extra close attention to the polls to. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, Google wins its challenge against a European Union antitrust fine. Norway becomes the first country with more electric than gas-powered cars, and MSP International Airport ranks highest in customer satisfaction. Those stories coming up in your consumer news. The Federal Reserve lowered interest rates for the first time since 2020. Still ahead, more on why that's a good sign for the housing market and how it could stimulate local inventory. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Firefighters saved an ocelot cub from a forest fire near Rio de Janeiro Sunday. The tiny wildcat, there it is, so cute. It got its first aid. There it's having a bottle, also got a ride to the vet. It's a rare bit of good news as fires darken skies over major Brazilian cities. Thousands of firefighters are battling the blazes, but extreme weather keeps fueling the flames. Well, we're glad he is safe. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the techno music capital, Detroit, Michigan. Who knew? Looking a little bleak there today. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $40 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with a flat interior work surface. Drop down the tailgate to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 2.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $9,900 in total savings on a new Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Nordland Ford dealers.
Tammy Baldwin on transparency.
I don't think there should be two sets of rules, one for the wealthy and one for the rest of us.
12 years later, Baldwin pushed for conflict of interest regulations, but exempted herself. And Baldwin won't disclose any shared assets she has with her partner, despite the potential for conflict of interest. Tell Tammy Baldwin, we deserve the truth. Wisconsin Principles is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More sofas, more recliners, more mattresses, more of everything. You're going to find whatever you want, and you're going to find plenty of it. And it's all priced to go with 0% easy payment plans available. And as always, free delivery. Just try that anywhere else. Come visit us today.
King Furniture.
Nice people, nice furniture.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
For 52 years, they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $40 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Well, good morning to you. We have a weather alert day today. The major threat comes between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight. Once we get in the 11 o'clock hour, most of that is pretty much clear from Ladysmith all the way down to La Crosse. Down to the south areas, we could see possibly some of that continuing on till about 11 o'clock, going into the midnight hour down south by Boscobel, as well as Prairie du Chien. That being said, take a gander at how this all plays out here. We've got a slight risk of severe weather. It has widened out now. It includes all of La Crosse in this now. Most of Black River Falls, you can see, is all in there as well, getting into Eau Claire. You're in that. Ladysmith is also in that too. We'll see Prairie du Chien is in partly of that. Wausau all the way down southward. Now you're in the marginal risk for a slight chance of severe weather. This is what's happening right now. It's across the Mississippi River. You can see by I-35, continuing on to Minneapolis right now, and then continuing on to Red Wing, down by Rochester, picking up some of that by Austin, and finishing out Mason City, picking up some rainfall. So Winona, you're next. Eau Claire, you're next as well, within possibly the 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock hour. hour. Cloud cover is finally starting to move in now, so we're picking up clouds going to partly to mostly cloudy skies over the next few hours. Current conditions, 60s, some 50s, some more 60s down to the south. You can see the demarcation line with all the 60s and near 70-degree heat already to our west. Current dew points are in the 50s, wide spread currently right now, so we're going to get some juice, but later on more of that juice will come in. Here's a look at some of the patchy fog out there right now. That's going to get out of the way because the winds are going to be beginning to pick up. You can see up to 15 miles per hour, 18 miles per hour, and around to 17 miles per hour as you get closer to home. I'll have more about this coming up for you in just a moment, so please stand by.
In your consumer news this morning, Google defeats a $1.7 billion European Union antitrust fine. The General Court ruled the European Commission did not prove Google was abusing its dominant position. Politico reports the fine was levied in 2019 after online advertisers complained about Google's advertising technology. This is a rare win for Google, which lost its bid to turn over another massive fine earlier this year. Norway is now the first country to have more electric vehicles than pure gas-powered cars on the road. Norwegian officials say 26% of the vehicles on the road are fully electric. That's slightly higher than gas vehicles. The Road Federation believes EVs will outnumber diesel by 2026. Meanwhile, Norway appears to be on track of meeting its goal to end all new gas and diesel vehicle sales by next year. Already, electric cars make up more than 90% of new vehicle sales there. According to a new J.D. Power study, Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport ranking highest in customer satisfaction among the mega-sized airports. John Wayne Airport in California and Indianapolis topped the list for large and medium-sized airports. J.D. Power said its survey took into account several criteria like crowd control, prices of food and beverages, and local charm. Buying a home or taking out a loan might be a little easier thanks to the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates for the first time in 4 years. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall explains how this could impact home buyers here in Wisconsin.
Mandy Johnson wants to buy a home. Now that the Fed's lowered interest rates, she's hoping she could find the perfect house sooner than later.
Pretty fast. A couple of days, a day or two.
Today, the Fed's lowered interest rates by 0.5 percentage point for the first time since 2020. Mike Petrick works for the La Crosse Area Realtors Association. He says despite an uptick in sales over the summer, inventory in the Coulee region has remained low. The lower interest rates could create more inventory by encouraging both buyers and sellers to strike while the iron's hot.
We've had ever-increasing interest rates for the last couple of years, or in the last year they've gone up, and people have stayed out of the market waiting for them to go down. Well, either it's now is your chance, because we don't know when the Fed is going to act again.
Now that interest rates are lower, depending on what the banks decide, he thinks more people will sell their homes.
We're all hoping that that's going to be the case. We know a significant number of homeowners that have some very attractive interest rates locked in on their homes right now. If we compare the Fed's drop and see it in the banking mortgage interests, we will anticipate seeing more homes come into the market.
In La Crosse, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now this morning.
Economists are expecting the Feds to continue lowering interest rates throughout the next year. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:18. Let's check back in with Art for a look at our forecast.
Well, that was a quick jump back here. Welcome back. I am happy to be with you right now. Damaging winds expected as we get into the 7 p.m. hour and all the way to the 10 p.m. hour is an alert day today. Large hail associated with that as well. Damaging winds possibly up to 60 miles per hour, plus affecting all areas here of our region, including portions down to the south as well. You'll hold on to the headlines here. We have morning shower potential coming in, and that's within the next couple of hours. It's already jumped the Mississippi right now, and as we get into it, storms could be associated with that as well. Today, late day. Then getting into, let's say, maybe 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock, you may find yourself with a shower with the kiddos getting into the bus. Storm activity may be associated with that as well, but then it'll really start to pick up between those hours I mentioned where we have the alert day. Coming into it, current temperatures, if you're just joining us, look at the demarcation line. 50s, as you can see right here, and then once you get a little bit more around La Crosse, you're holding on and looking westward, you're looking at 60s and 70s already. So the heat is already associated with that as well. We also have the rainfall that's continuing to move in, and now you can see that line that's stretching in closer now. It has crossed the Mississippi there and heading for Eau Claire and Ladysmith. You can see the drier area right here. That's working its way toward us, and then down to the South Boscobel, you could be picking up that as well as Prairie du Chien. We'll roll right into it here as we go right into the 9 o'clock hour. Not much happening. It's breaking down, but you'll see Red Wing picking up a little bit all the way to Rochester, crossing the Mississippi down in that particular region. Eau Claire is up in the rainfall by the time we get in the noon hour. Possibly La Crosse could have a light shower or two, maybe a sprinkle, and then we're done. We'll hold on to this again as you take a look going into the morning hours. This is the rainfall we're expecting as we roll right into for today. Now, this is way different from what I showed you in the noon hour yesterday. Yesterday, we were up at least 1.5 inches or so, and then more up there to the north and more down to the south, but this continues to change a bit. This is taking you all the way into the rainfall that's coming in for your weekend as well. That being said, we take a gander at what's happening. We go to the highs today, 70s, upper 70s to around the middle 80s today, expected maybe in upper 80s to get down to Prairie du Chien. Holding on to the rainfall potential moving the forecast here, you'll see maybe the rainfall moving up in the La Crosse zone here for us again. You'll see more rainfall getting into the south zone, as well as another line comes in for the second round as we go into the 7 o'clock hour all the way into the 10 p.m. hour, and that's for tonight, this evening and tonight. Reminder for the alert day. We'll take it into the central zone where you can see everyone's picking up some rainfall. More storm activity is headed up to the north as well, from Ladysmith all the way down into Chippewa as well as Eau Claire, and then getting into Fall Creek as well as into other locations down there. We'll also see as we go through the next few days, 86 degrees today. We're still holding on to the warm going into tomorrow as well as Saturday. Then we break it on down, getting into more shower activity with increased cloud cover as well. We have rain coming in about about a 50% chance, carrying to a 30% chance on Monday, then about a 20% chance for Tuesday, and temperatures are in the 70s by then. We're looking at cooler conditions, and of course it's all going to be a lot more comfortable with better conditions coming in for midweek for you all. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:21. Still ahead, respiratory virus season is approaching. This year could be as severe as last, doctors are saying. Coming up, why health experts say vaccination is key and what you need to know about protecting yourself against the flu, RSV, and COVID.
Coming up in the Blitz, the Brewers popping the bubbly after clinching the NL Central for the second straight season, plus this week's edition of the News 8 Play of the Week nominees. Stick with us.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride, but I already paid.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
When I walked into these old buildings 35 years ago, I never imagined it would look like this. I never imagined we'd serve 12,000 homeowners. I never imagined I'd celebrate my 80th birthday here, and I never imagined that my then 10-year-old daughter would become the new general manager. But here we are, solid as a rock, carrying on a tradition of exceptional quality and service.
Celebrate our 35 years with your savings on new windows and doors, bathroom or kitchen, siding, sunroom, or deck.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, after Chicago lost to the Oakland A's, the Brewers knew they'd be celebrating an NL Central title last night, but would they be spraying the suds after a victory? This one, a great pitching matchup, all knotted up at 1 until bottom of the 9th. Tie game, bases loaded. Jake Bauers delivers. That single drives in Jackson Chourio and starts celebrating everyone. Milwaukee gets their first walk-off win since June 26th. It's the second straight NL Central title. First time doing that since the 1981-82 seasons. Many did not think the Crew could do it, and now their skipper says they're on to bigger and better things.
These guys don't know what their best is and didn't know what their best was and still don't. But they know one thing: pulling together, competing, being doubted is something that can vault you forward into a championship.
And now it is time to reveal the News 8 Play of the Week nominees, and I'm excited about the 5 that we've got picked out for you all this week. Kicking us off, history 2 nights ago at Mabel Canton High. We're showing you one play here. She's had a ton of great ones over the years. Sahara Morgan registering her 4,000th assists in her fantastic career. One of just 11 players in Minnesota to ever do it. To number 2, we head to the gridiron. It's Independence Gilmanton's Chase Beck. Rolling to his left under some pressure from Pep and Alma, but he squares the shoulders and fires a dime down the field to Blake Slabby for the score. Indies would fall, but great play here from Beck. More football for number 3, but we go to the college ranks. Home opener for UWL. With the game all locked at 7, Najee Mitchell takes the screen. Big boys out front are clearing a lane, and Mitchell breaks a couple of tackles. He's in for 6. Eagles win 35-21. On to number 4 we go. Back on Monday, La Crescent boys soccer early first half. Great cross sent in, and check out the precision on the header by Tara Vang. The Lancers get the home side up 1-0. That right there is a lot harder than it looks, folks. And La Crescent and Lake City would tie in that one 2-2. And for number 5, boy, do we have a treat right here. This one sent in by Eric Larson. Cotter boys soccer facing Schaefer Academy. Felipe Carvalho. You will not see much better than that at the high school level. We'll zoom in here. He hops on the bicycle for the goal. Are you kidding me? I mean, a ridiculous play right there. I told you, folks, if you got a good one at home with a game that we weren't at, send it over. So there is our 5 to choose from for this week. Voting is live right now on our website, and I want to make sure I mention this. Voting closing at 5 p.m. on Friday. To cast that vote, head to the sports page under news8000.com and play the week tab and click on your favorites. Another tough call for all of you at home. These plays have been awesome so far. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $40 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $40 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, parents, if you've been worried about screen time before bed, a new study could help ease your mind. It found that using devices up to 2 hours before sleep doesn't significantly disrupt kids' slumber, but there is a catch. Using screens while in bed can negatively impact their sleep quality. The researchers explain once kids are tucked in, screens and sleep start competing for their attention. Interactive activities like gaming are particularly disruptive compared to passive ones like watching videos, so consider setting some boundaries when it's time for lights out. A new study finds the Mind diet may boost brain health along with trimming your waistline. This Mediterranean-based diet aims to combat cognitive decline and lower blood pressure. Decade-long followers showed lower risks of thinking, concentration, and memory problems. Brain-healthy foods include vegetables, beans, nuts, seafood, and poultry. Researchers advise reducing red meat, cheese, and pastry consumption to preserve your cognitive function. COVID-19 cases are high in many parts of the U.S. right now, and they are continuing to rise. With flu season coming up and RSV levels already ticking up, experts say now is the time to protect yourself. Mandy Gaither explains how to get ready for respiratory virus season.
It's about that time of year again. The CDC forecast suggests this respiratory virus season will be similar to last year's, which brought more than 20 hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in 1 week at its peak. That's far worse than in pre-pandemic years.
Getting our vaccination numbers up is still an ongoing battle.
Dr. Jared Eddy with National Jewish Health says the best way to protect yourself and those around you is by getting vaccinated. Last year was the first year the U.S. had vaccines available to protect against all 3 major respiratory viruses: flu, RSV, and COVID-19.
You are able to get vaccines at the same time.
When it comes to COVID-19, the CDC recommends everyone ages 6 months and older receive an updated vaccine this season. When to get it varies. If you're at higher risk, including seniors or people who are immunocompromised, now is a good time to receive it since COVID-19 cases are high. Others who may have natural immunity from a recent infection may decide to wait. The seasonal flu vaccine is also recommended for everyone 6 months and older. September and October are the best times to get those. As for RSV, the vaccine is recommended for all adults 75 and older, along with those 60 and older at higher risk because of certain chronic medical conditions or if they live in a nursing home or long-term care facility.
The RSV vaccine is a one-time dose, so older adults who got it last year won't need another one this year. The CDC says pregnant people can also receive the RSV vaccine to protect their newborns, or antibodies can be given to an infant after birth. Oktoberfest has crowned its new parade marshals. Marianne Geschwind and Deborah Keller will lead the festivities. Geschwind will steer the Maple Leaf Parade while Keller takes charge of the Torchlight Parade. Both say they're excited to represent their community and spread a vibrant spirit of Gemütlichkeit.
Having that friendly feeling, that feeling of good cheer, and that's what Oktoberfest is. Oktoberfest is a time where families get together, friends get together.
There aren't that many women who have been parade marshals, and the fact that we have this year is wonderful.
Geschwind was previously nominated in 2020, but the pandemic canceled the festival that year. And today's clue for the Oktoberfest medallion hunt has been released. Here it reads, pines and hardwoods were prominent around the Coulee region, floated downriver along with more each season. Goddard's, Crosby's, Sawyer, and Austin's, among many other, was the region's late 1800s chief economic shopkeeper. If you know what that means and you're planning to look for it, here are the rules. The medallion won't be buried. It is within city limits, can be accessed any time of the day or night, fits in the palm of your hand, and it might be camouflaged. And if you find it, remember, take it to the Oktoberfest office. You will win some merch, $500, and a mini replica of the medallion. Good luck. Today, the time now is 6:35. Here's News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
All right, my friend, as we get into it, this is what we're looking at right now. I'm trying to see this computer is not working right now. It's all in black. I apologize. But we're going to be seeing showers and storms this early morning. What we're looking at right now, holding on to these showers, they're coming in around the 8 o'clock hour, going all the way into at least the 12 o'clock hour, and then continuing on. Then we'll go into today. Later on in the afternoon and the evening hours, we're looking at the possibility of more showers and storms coming in the form of light rainfall, or say around 3 o'clock, going into the kids coming home from school, right back over to the 4 o'clock hour with some light rainfall. By the time we get into your evening commute, more showers and storms will continue to move, and then we'll pick that up going on into your forecast. That being said, we'll continue having that going into the 7 p.m. all the way to the 11 p.m. hour. Showers and storms associated with that. That's when we have our alert day coming in, and that's a line of showers coming up from the north, working all the way down to the south as the line begins to increase. That's the big batch of rainfall. We're talking 60-mile-per-hour gusty winds. We're talking about large hail associated with that. A slim chance of picking up anything more than just showers. We could see a storm coming in some locations up by Ladysmith, breaking down as it gets closer to us. So that means we could see some storm activity coming in as a chance. I'll have more about this coming up for you in a moment. All right, that's your forecast.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8. Let's play the whole song, right? Why not?
Yeah, why not? I'm jamming to it over here. Hey, Cade is turning 8 today. He enjoys football, baseball, wrestling, and spending time with his friends and family.
Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to Avis. She's turning 88. She loves her family and pets, baking, and taking trips to the library and thrift store.
Nice. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab. If you're ready for some running fun, an iconic Oktoberfest run is back in La Crosse this weekend, and we're joined by the organizers coming up to hear the details.
Ashley knows that some of our most important traditions and memories start around the dining table. From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, we have versatile options that fit any space, with styles ranging from mid-century modern to farmhouse or traditional, starting at just $499.99. Only at Ashley.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend, Toyota Trucks.
Lease a tough new 2024 Tacoma for $319 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years. Highest gas prices ever. Skyrocketing interest rates. Unaffordable housing. Incomes down. Unemployment rising. And a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like $100 off these DeWalt tool batteries, now just $39. Over half off 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, $32.99. $30 off this 6-gallon Craftsman wet dry vac, only $59.99. And prep your yard with the State Lawn Fertilizer or Late Fall Winterizer, just $24.99.
Find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet. Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The board store, improving your home, improving your life.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Lease a rugged new 2024 Tacoma for $479 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers mattresses for every level of comfort, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. We have affordable mattress options for everybody. Find your perfect match today, only at Ashley. Shop more deals in store and online.
Well, good morning to you and welcome back. This Thursday morning, we're holding on to some showers and storms on the way. Now, the storms have already jumped over the Mississippi River right now, and they're working their way gradually into our area. Slowly but surely, we'll see that coming in the next couple of hours. Today, by the late afternoon, going into the early evening hours, that's when we start to see some light showers coming in. Then we may see some showers and storms cutting in as we go into the 7 p.m. hour to the 11 p.m. hour. That's our weather alert day time slot. That will continue on until at least midnight, and that means for everyone between this time slot here I'm showing you, that's when we're done with our threat here locally until you get down to Prairie du Chien and Boswell. They're still holding on to that threat still. The alert days I've mentioned before for damaging winds and large hail, you could see some winds up to 60 miles per hour plus. Remember the last time we had that happen? We had a lot of wind damage going on. We had a lot of trees taking down power lines as well, so power was knocked out for a lot of folks. The demarcation line from Ladysmith all the way down to Prairie du Chien, all that yellow, we have 60s and 70s that way, and then the green we have mostly 50s here locally going to the east. Now there are the showers that you can see they've jumped up by 35. They've jumped up across the Mississippi heading for Ladysmith and then going towards Eau Claire within the next say 45 minutes or so. Then you look down to the south. There's still a dry slot where it would head right for La Crosse, so it's a little behind schedule bringing us rainfall here locally. So as we get into it here 7 a.m. going into the 8 o'clock 9 o'clock hour, you're looking at some spottier showers working in the forecast. Then we go into the 10 o'clock hour, the possibility of more spotty showers. Then we see that coming in for Winona going to Eau Claire, continuing on to the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the noon hour for Eau Claire, then getting out of the way. Still dry down to the south as you can see, but more storms coming in as we click in for the late afternoon going into the early evening hours. Boom, we go into 7 o'clock, showers and storms begin. The strength of these storms continue to pick up, blasting up all the way up to the north as well as down to the south with the second line. That continues on to the 10 o'clock hour. Now you notice Ladysmith is now getting out of the threat. Eau Claire is out of the threat, getting down to the south. La Crosse has not really picked up much rainfall. As you can see, it's kind of a spotty hole there right there. And once we get out of the way, we'll pick up some more rainfall. This is what we're showing right now. La Crosse under 1/10 of an inch. Then we get into tomorrow, drier conditions as we pick up that happening with more sunshine on the way. We get into Saturday and Sunday. There's more rainfall Saturday night, but we'll see more rainfall throughout the day on Sunday as that happens. Then we take it into Monday with more rainfall on the way. So here's today. You take a gander here. We're looking at least 11 a.m. for La Crosse to about 1 p.m. for rainfall, then a break coming back again at 7 p.m. Then you're going to see as we go into Eau Claire, you're picking up rainfall going into 9 a.m. all the way to 11 a.m. So throw 8 a.m. in there as well. Then we'll pick up the conditions to be like this carrying over. Not much happening there. You can see Thursday we're looking at some 70s today to about upper 80s, and then we'll go into the next few days where we have conditions to be like this, 86 to 85 degrees. Then we go to 85 for Saturday. We're done with the warm. We go back to now to the mild, jumping into the cool air, and then that continues all the way into next week as well. Get out and enjoy it if you can. Be safe.
Thank you, Art. Well, get ready to hit the ground running. We are joined this morning by some of the organizers of the Maple Leaf Walk and Run to tell us how we can get in on the fun. Good morning, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you.
So just start by telling us, what people should know about the run and walk. It's a run walk, right?
Yes, so this is the 25th annual Maple Leaf Run Walk, and we offer a half marathon, 5-mile, 5K, as well as a kids mile race.
Okay.
And it takes place on Saturday, September 28th, down in Riverside Park.
Okay, great. So something for everyone, really. A lot of options there.
Yes.
So what's it like being involved in this? What does it mean to you?
This is my 3rd year as one of the race directors for the Maple Leaf Walk Run, and we just love being able to offer a fun and safe, family-friendly event during Oktoberfest weekend. We've seen people coming down for all 25 years that it's been going on, and it's just really fun to see that tradition in La Crosse.
Right on. How about you?
I would say the same thing. This is my 2nd year doing it, helping organize it, and it's just such a fun way for the community to get involved and start off the Oktoberfest day super strong. A lot of people will come to the race, and then afterwards they'll make their way right to the parade. So it's just awesome to see everybody get together.
Yeah, that's great. And so why would you encourage the community to get involved in this race?
Yeah, so the Maple Leaf Run Walk supports our annual campaign. The Y is a great 3rd place. It makes so many things accessible to the community ages 0 to 98 with our membership for all. It supports things like our food program. We are on track to serve 250,000 snacks and meals this year alone. It supports things like our cancer survivorship program, youth sports. There's so many wonderful things that our annual campaign supports, and it's done through this race.
Yeah, that's very important. We're showing some file footage now of previous year's races. Looks like a lot of people show up for this. A great cause for sure. So I just lost what I was going to say. Art, you have any other questions to ask about it? Oh, can people still sign up? Can they sign up at the door, or how does that work?
Yes, so you can go to laxymca.org to sign up for all the races. I would suggest doing it sooner rather than later. Our prices increase after Saturday, but you are able to sign up until Saturday race day. So if you come down that morning, we are happy to have you join.
So there are other races. There are some for kids as well?
Yes, there's the Maple Mile, which is a kids race, and that's just so fun. All the kids get a medal and a t-shirt for the Maple Mile as well. It takes place at the end of the day, yeah.
Okay, very fun. Yeah, so something for the whole family. Anything else you want people to know about the event or coming out?
These hats that we're sporting are new this year for the 25th annual, and we have them for sale at both Y branches at the front desks, and they'll be also at the race on Saturday morning.
All right, awesome. Some extra ways to support there. Well, thank you both so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
No problem. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, for the first time in 4 years, the interest rates have been cut. Jill Schlesinger will explain what the Federal Reserve's move means for you and your wallet. Plus, Lisa Ling continues her series on spirituality. Today's report features a group of female priests in a movement defying the Catholic Church. And we couldn't be more excited to have the one and only Scarlett Johansson joining us. Just ask Vlad. She's just one of those big names lending her voice to the highly anticipated movie Transformers 1. Have you heard of it? We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.
I need Allen Dental. Dr. Allen, you're my only hope.
At Allen Dental, we have hope for excessive snoring and disruptive sleep. Come to us for myofunctional therapy and oral sleep appliance.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I am your father. At Allen Dental, we have hope for excessive snoring and disrupted sleep. Come to us for myofunctional therapy and oral sleep appliance.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Welcome back. It's 6:51. Time for your morning news now. 25 people, including children, are in the hospital this morning after a wagon overturned at an apple orchard in Lafayette, Wisconsin. 3 people sustained life-threatening injuries. At least 1 was airlifted. According to the sheriff's office, a tractor was towing 2 wagons when one of the wagons lost control going downhill and tipped over.
You have an area such as ours, which is fairly rural, and then the closure of the hospitals in the area. Coming together and being a team like we are and we always have been, I think is instrumental.
Sheriff's office did not say which school the children were from. The cause is still under investigation. A La Crosse County court ruled 55-year-old John Stumlin is not competent to stand trial. He is accused of killing and hiding the body of 68-year-old Daniel Riordan. He was arrested in August. He did not appear in court for this latest hearing due to aggression toward jail staff. The court ordered immediate medication and inpatient treatment for Stumlin's mental illness. At least 20 people are dead and more than 3,000 hurt after 2 waves of highly unusual attacks in Lebanon and Syria. Rigged pagers, walkie-talkies, and handheld radios used by the terror group Hezbollah simultaneously exploded. Some Tuesday, some yesterday. Hezbollah blames Israel and is vowing to take revenge. And Iran is trying to interfere in the 2024 presidential campaign, at least according to several national security agencies. Officials say Iranian hackers stole sensitive information from former President Trump's campaign, tried to peddle it to President Biden's campaign over the summer. Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign says it was unaware of the material, but some campaign emails were targeted in a phishing attempt. On a social media platform, Trump accused the Harris campaign of spying on him. Buying a home, car, or taking out a loan just got a little easier. The Federal Reserve lowered interest rates for the first time since 2020. While the rate was only lowered 0.5 percentage, the decision could signal growth as consumers grapple with high inflation. The Fed's reduced its rate to between 4.75% and 5%. Mike Petrick with the La Crosse Area Realtors Association says it's a good sign for the local housing market.
We've had ever-increasing interest rates for the last couple of years, or in the last year they've gone up. and people have stayed out of the market waiting for them to go down. Well, either it's now is your chance, because we don't know when the Fed is going to act again.
Petrick says despite an uptick in sales over the summer, inventory in the Coulee region has remained low. The lower interest rates could create more inventory by motivating both buyers and sellers to strike the iron while it's hot. And Oktoberfest crowning its new parade marshals. Marianne Geschwind and Deborah Keller will lead the festivities this year. Geschwind will steer the Maple Leaf Parade while Keller takes charge of the Torchlight Parade.
Having that friendly feeling, that feeling of good cheer. And that's what Oktoberfest is. Oktoberfest is a time where families get together, friends get together.
There aren't that many women who have been parade marshals, and the fact that we have this year is wonderful.
Geschwind was previously nominated in 2020, but the pandemic canceled the festival that year. And today's clue for the Oktoberfest medallion hunt has been released. It reads pines and hardwoods were prominent around the Coulee region, floated downriver along with more each season. Goddard's, Crosby's, Sawyer, and Austin's, among many others, was the region's late 1800s chief economic shopkeeper. If you're planning to look for it, remember, it won't be buried. It is within La Crosse city limits, can be accessed anytime, fits in the palm of your hand, and might be camouflaged. If you find it, take it to the Oktoberfest office. You will win some merchandise, $500, and a replica.
Right on. Alert day today as we get into it later on this evening. Right now, showers across the Mississippi, and they're continuing to stretch by Red Wing going to Eau Claire and Ladysmith right now. Everybody else down to the south is a little behind schedule. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's the range for our weather alert day today for damaging winds with wind gusts up to at least 60 miles per hour. Large hail associated with that as well. Here's a look at La Crosse on the planner today as you go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's when the storms begin to really break out as the 7 p.m. hour begins. You'll see some of that as well for Eau Claire as well. Here's a look at the rainfall we're anticipating. Not much for La Crosse for now. As we go into it, take a gander here. What I've got for you. Temperatures today, 79 to 83 degrees. Be safe out there.
All right, Art, do you know some King's English? Today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. You don't have to dress up to talk like a pirate, but you could to celebrate. To enjoy the piratey pleasure of the day, grab your first mate, hoist your Jolly Roger, sing a little shanty while you scrub the deck, and try not to be too much of a scallywag. Oh, I got corrected for that one. The idea for Talk Like a Pirate Day was born nearly 30 years ago when two friends on a racquetball court started ribbing each other in pirate slang. Don't worry, neither of them had to walk the plank.
Good one.
You know, I just read it.
I don't know how you read some of that stuff. I'm like, what's that say?
Between that and the medallion clue, I'm speaking a different language today.
Well, for you, it's too difficult.
A different language that I don't know.
Right.
Thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Till then, enjoy the day. You got a pirate phrase you want to throw out there?
Arrgh.
Arrgh.